Hello, a very brief one. Now, it's very interesting how certain people in the opposition in Uganda address the president. And this was begun by, I think, Kano Kizabeste, particularly when he formed what he called the People's Government. Having on several occasions lost the race for the presidency to His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and on this one occasion formed the People's Government, he became very deliberate in his address to the president. Whenever he is referring to the president, President Museveni, if in English you would say something like Mr. Museveni. If it is in Uganda, he will say Umwami Museveni. But in no case will he say President Museveni. Now, this tendency was picked very fast because it's a conceptualized thing. It's very deliberate. It takes a level of, Kano Kizabeste is, in my opinion, the most ideologically clear-minded opposition politician in Uganda. And I think it takes a long time for this country to have someone with that clear mind in his belief system, notwithstanding that mostly he has been wrong, but he has this level of clarity in what he has chosen to form his belief system on several concepts of politics and governance. He has a level of clarity. This tendency was picked very fast by another very erudite mind, the Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago. Whenever he addresses the president, he will say Omwami Museveni, and if it's in English, he will say Mr. Museveni. Again, he will not say President Museveni. Now, this tendency has very recently found home in the National Unity Platform. The other time, Honorable Chivumbi was addressing a NUP gathering when he, by some sort of mistake, if I may say, addressed President Museveni as President Museveni. And there were murmurs, and he was treated with contempt and ridicule, and they very fast corrected him. Said that, is Mwami Museveni, President Mutufu, ye gundi. Talking of their leader. What is the opposition doing in trying to sever the title of the presidency from the name of Museveni? What are they achieving? The presidency is a constitutional office, and under the constitution, the president is the fountain of honor, the topmost citizen, the president. He's given wide discretionary powers, and he's the head of government, and he's given immense executive authority as the head of government. The basis of the conferment of this authority on the president is the legitimacy of his office. So in trying to sever the honor of the presidency from Mr. Museveni, what the opposition is doing is to tell the people of Uganda that this government is not legitimate. That this government led by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is not legitimate, and that Mr. Museveni is not the legitimately elected president of the people of Uganda. Now, this takes us back to the point for which I make this video. It is very important that the political opposition in all countries that have embraced multi-party democracy understand the concept of legitimacy of government. Because nearly all countries, not all, but most countries have embraced, particularly in Africa, have embraced multi-party democracy. So there will always be a contestation for political office. Here in Africa, there's a common tendency that, you know, the party in office will always claim that it is legitimately in office, and then the party outside government will say the party in government or the actors in government are running an illegitimate government. Who is right and who is wrong? What confers legitimacy on a government? Because you see, it's very important that the concept of legitimacy of government is understood. If your ideological concepts that form the basis of your contestation for power are wrong, then you are likely to have the results of your struggle affected. Now, today, 19th of January 2024, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Azerbaijan handed over to Uganda the chairpersonship of the non-aligned movement. The non-aligned movement is an organization of over, I believe, should be now close about 130 or thereabout number of countries. I'm not very clear with the statistics on that. But it's a global organization of countries that have come together to say we should not align ourselves to the West or the East. The NAM began way back in the 1950s after the world superpowers had fought its wars and left the globe with the Cold War between the East led by the US and the West led by the Soviet Union. The US capitalistic in nature and the Soviet Union led by the Soviet Union being communist, each are choosing the other. The West telling the East that capitalism will fail, and the East Americans telling the communist states that communism will fail. And so the world got engulfed in this Cold War. So very few countries sat and said, when these big powers fight, we, the developing countries, are the ones that are most affected. Why don't we stay non-aligned to either of these forces? And this is how the non-aligned movement was formed way back in the 1950s and has grown its membership to those very huge numbers that I've talked about. And today, on the 19th of January, President Museveni assumes chairpersonship of this big, very widely spread international organization called the Non-Aligned Movement. For the year 2024 up till 2027. I heard people say on some platforms this evening that why 2027? Because they note that 2027 is a year past the coming general elections of 2026. I do not want to speculate, but the term of office for President Museveni as the NAM chairperson will go past the coming general elections of 2026. But I meant to say this, that the assumption of the office of the chairperson of NAM by President Museveni today has dealt a very big blow to fallacious, deceptive not knowledge-based opposition politicking,